Continue with the solutions which we are discussing. So here comes the 11th question. Let's try to see that. Okay. So what does it says? It says that a 25-watt bulb, right? So what it's saying is it's a 25-watt bulb. Okay, emits monochromatic yellow light of wavelength of 0.57 micrometer. Okay, so that is the wavelength which it is emitting. Okay, now let's try to see like what can I say. Then what he's asking is that calculate the rate of emission of quanta per second, right? So he's asking us to calculate a rate of emission of quanta per second, right? So that's what he's asking. So this means that he's basically asking what is the energy per second which has been emitted. Okay, which has been emitted, right? Okay, so that's what he's trying to ask. Okay, so now let's try to see. The power is given to us, right? A 25-watt bulb, right? And the wavelength is given to us. So if the wavelength is given, okay, so then what we can say about, okay, so this is the rated power, right? Yellow light. So what is the energy of this? It is going to be, energy is going to be hc by lambda, right? Okay, so it is going to be hc by lambda, right? So what is h? It is 6.6. You can say 63 into 10 to power minus 24 joule seconds, right? Multiplied with 3 into 10 to power 8 meter per second, that is the speed of the light, divided by 0.57 micrometer, right? So micro is 10 to power minus 6 meter, right? That one. So this much energy, right? Yes. Okay. So what is this value going to be? Yes. What has to be this value? Let's try to calculate this value. This is 6.63 into 3, right? That is divided by 0.57, right? So this is 34.89. Okay, so that what it is into 10 to power how much it is? Minus 34 and this is 14, right? So it is minus 20 joules, right? So this much joules of energy is emitted. Okay, so you can say that energy, then the rate of emission of quanta per second. Okay, so what is that rate? So if I say that there are n photons which are emitted, okay, this means Ne by time, that is the power which is getting emitted out of, you can say, that particular source, right? Okay, so you can say rate of emission of quanta per second. So n is the number of quanta, so quanta per second, that is nothing but it is going to be n by time, that what he is interested in asking us. So this rate is nothing going to be, it is going to be 25 watt divided by, you can say, 34.89 into 10 to power minus 20, right? Yes, is that okay?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so how much is this value? So what is this value? Let's try to see. This is 24 divided by, you can say, almost 35 it is. So you can say this is 5 by 7. So this is 0.7. Okay, so this is 5 by 7. So this is 7 and it will be 1 into 10 to power 20 quanta per second, right? So these many photons quanta per second will be emitted. Is that okay? Yes. Let's see if this is 25 divided by 34.89.
Yes.
Okay, so this is 0.71, right? That exact value, right? Okay, so this many quanta per second, that is the answer. Okay, so we move with the next
Yes, sir.
question then. Okay, so let's try to move with the next question. Okay, let's try to see this. Now what is said over here is, let's electron is emitted with zero velocity, right? So there are electrons which are getting emitted with zero velocity. Okay, so there are electrons which are getting emitted with zero velocity. So this means whatever the energy of photon will be there, that energy will be used to just free the electron, right? Let's see this. Electrons are emitted with zero velocity from a metal surface when it is exposed to radiation of wavelength 6800 angstrom, right? So wavelength is how much? That is 6800 angstrom, right? Okay. So, okay, calculate the threshold frequency, right? So he is asking about threshold frequency. So threshold frequency is associated with the wave function and work function of the metal. Okay, तो work function भी वो पूछ रहा है. So you can say that since the electron is emitted with zero velocity, so whatever the energy of the photon, right? So that energy will get used up in as a work function, right? Okay, or that is h nu naught, right? Okay, threshold, that is Planck constant multiplied with the threshold frequency, right? So he is interested in this. So what is the energy of the photon? Let's try to calculate this. What is the photon energy? That is hc by lambda, right? Yes, that what is the photon energy? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
So what is this value? This is 6.63 into 10 to power minus 34 multiplied with 3 into 10 to power 8 meter per second divided by 6800 angstrom, right? 6800 into 10 to power minus 10, right? So that's what it is. Okay, so this is, you can say, the energy of the photon, right? How much is this? Yes, can you calculate and help me out with this? What is the value? And then I will verify with the help of a calculator.
Yes, I'm doing it.
Yeah. Right? Is this answer okay? So this is the, you can say,
So it is saying 10 to power minus 19.
it's coming minus 19. It is minus 8, right? It is minus 8. So it will become 16. So 16, then it has to be 18, right? 0.295. This value is 0.2925, right? Okay, just check once.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so that is, so this much joules, right? So this will be also equal to work function, right? So that is also equal to work function. Yes, that's what we can say. Okay, so this is work function. Okay, now he is asking about the threshold frequency, right? So what is threshold frequency? That is h nu naught. That is equal to 0.2925 into 10 to the power minus 8, 18, right? Joules, right? So, or you can say that nu naught is nothing but it is going to be 1 by lambda. So this is, you can say, 1 by, will directly we can just directly calculate it. That is going to be 1 by, you can say, 6800, right? Angstrom, right? That what it is. Okay, so this is c by lambda, sorry, not it is not, it's not a wave number, so it is c by lambda. So we can calculate this value directly. So this value is going to be, you can say, 3 into 10 to power 16, 3 by 68 into 10 to power minus, it is 8 minus 16. Okay, hertz. So what is happening this? Okay, so what is this value? Can you calculate with like for me? 3 by 68. Yeah, so this much hertz. So what is this value?
So it is 4.41 into 10 to the power 14.
Okay, 0. Okay, 10 to power, you can say it is 0 point, this value will come out to be 0.044, right, into 10 to power minus 16 hertz, right? That's what it is. Yes. So you can shift the, you can say,
Yes, sir.
right, so you can shift this decimal place over here, and then you can say this is divided by 100, so it will be minus 18 then in that case, right? So if you shift it to two decimal places, right, it will become 4.4 into 10 to power minus 18. Yes, is that okay?
So it won't be minus 16, it will be plus 16 there.
Yeah, it is plus 16. Yeah, 10 to power minus 10. Yes, it is plus 16. Okay, so this is okay. This was minus 18. Okay, so this is C into 3 into 10 to power 8. Yeah, this is plus 16. So plus 16. Then it is, yeah. Then in that case, it will be 14. Yeah, into 10 to power 16 hertz. So that is going to be, you can say, 4.4 into 10 to power 14 hertz. Right. So that's what it is. Okay, so this is done. So he was asking about work function and the threshold frequency. So these are the answers, right? Okay, let's now try to answer this particular
Yes, sir.
question. Okay, let's see this. What is the wavelength associated with uh, wavelength of light emitted when the electron in a hydrogen atom undergoes transition from an energy level with n is equal to 4 to energy level n is equal to 2? Okay, so you can say with energy 4 to 1 he is comes, right? So the energy will be liberated, right? So n is equal to 4 to 2, that is the transition which is happening, right? Okay, so you can say energy level at any you can say at any, you can say value of n, it is given as, you can say, 2.18, right, into 10 to power minus 18 joules, something like that, joules per atom, right? I think that is the value divided by n square, right, that what it is. Yes, is this okay?
Yes, sir.
Okay, 2.18 into 10 to the power minus 18 n square, right? So energy at the fourth level, what will be the, you can say, this value is going to be same. So I can say 4 to 2 transition it is happening. Okay, so I can say this value, it is going to be delta E, which is the change in the energy, or which is the energy liberated, that is going to be 2.18 into 10 to the power minus 18, and this value is going to be, you can say, this is the initial value of energy is 1 by 4 square minus 1 by 2 square, right? That what it is. So from 4 to 2, right? So it basically lies in the Balmer series, right? So this transition will be in the Balmer series. Okay, so what has to be this value? uh, yes, right, so you can say 2.18 into 10 to the power minus 18. So here remember that you have to take the energy value as joule per atom, right? So you shouldn't consider joule per mole or that, right? Okay, so if the ionization energy is there, something, that in that case you can look at it per mole how much he is asking. But here you have to be very like clear on the thing that he is asking on per atom, right? So that hydrogen atom, right? So we have to take accordingly the value of the energy expressions. So this will be what, 1 by 16 minus 1 by 4. So this will become you can say minus 2 by 16, that is minus 1 by 4, right, minus 1 by 8 into 2.18 into 10 to the power minus 18 joules, right? That what it is.
So it will be minus 3 by 16.
Yeah, okay, let's see, 4, yeah, 4 into 4, so 1 into 4, yeah, minus 3 by you can say yeah, minus 3 by 16 it is. Okay, yeah, minus 3 by 16 it is. Yeah, so that's what it is going to be, you can say. Let me make this adjustment. So this is minus 3 by 16, right? So what is this value? So let's see this. So let me use my calculator. 3 into 2.18, right? So that it is, and divided by 16, so 0.408, right? Okay, so here the answer will be 0.40875, right, into 10 to power minus 18 joules. Okay, so you can say 4.08. Okay, so it is 88, you can say, into 10 to power minus 19 joules. That much amount of energy, right? If you want to round off till 3 decimal place. Okay, so it should have 3 significant figures, but it should have been rounded off at 8 only, so it should have become 409. Okay, so because here in 2.18 only 3 significant figures are there. Okay, so that's what it is now. Okay, so he is asking about then okay, he is asking about the wavelength associated with this particular hydrogen atom transition, right? So this wavelength will be given by what? So this wavelength will be given by, you can say, so that will be nothing but this will be h c by lambda, right? Okay, so now to find the wavelength, or better is that I think we should have used Rydberg constant. That formula, if you would have used, then it would have been better. So 1 by lambda, that formula also could have been used, that Rydberg constant 1 by n1 square minus 1 upon n2 square, right? सो वो फार्मूला भी हम यहाँ यूज़ कर सकते थे, और ठीक है, तो यहाँ पे हमने अगर ऐसा कैलकुलेशन किया है, लेकिन हमको ये उसके लिए हाँ, मतलब कि रिडबर्ग की कांस्टेंट की वैल्यू आपको पता होनी चाहिए, दैट इज़ 1096617 इंटू दैट इज सेंटीमीटर इनवर्स, राइट, दैट व्हाट इट इज। तो यहाँ पे लैम्डा की वैल्यू अब हम कैलकुलेट कर लेते हैं, यहाँ तक आ ही गए हैं, तो 4.088 इंटू 10 टू पावर माइनस 19 डिवाइडेड बाई, ओके, सो दिस इज इनवर्स हो जाएगा इसका, so lambda here it is going to be, it will become, you can say, 6.63 10 to power minus 34 into 3 into 10 to power 8 divided by, you can say, 4.088 into 10 to power minus 19, right? That much meter. So what is the wavelength? Can you calculate? And this should come out to be in the visible range, right? Yes. So let's see what is the answer. Let me use my calculator. 6.63 multiplied with 3, okay, so that is 19.89 divided by 4.088, okay, so this will become 486, okay, so this will come out to be 4.86, okay, so into 10 to power minus 34 it is, this is 27, it will become, so it is minus 7, right, or you can say 486 nanometer it is, right? So that is in the visible range, right? We know that for 450 to around 900, right? So that is the visible range. Yes, so it is in within the visible range, right? Yes, so it confirms the Balmer series. Yes, is that okay?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so let's move with the next question then. So like that, यहाँ से मतलब there are, we could have done it by Rydberg constant also, ठीक है? So if we would have used the Rydberg constant, that would have been like slightly better. But he was asking about energy also. So in that case, we would have multiplied with hc by lambda, hc, right? So कैसे भी, okay. So these calculations were anyhow involved into it, okay. So but अगर सिर्फ उसने वेवलेंथ पूछी है, तो हम ऐसे कर सकते हैं कि लैम्डा को हम जो है ना, मतलब कि Rydberg कांस्टेंट के थ्रू हम कैलकुलेट कर लें, ठीक है। सो वो भी एक जो है ना यहाँ पे एक तरीका था, ठीक है। बट लेकिन उसने एनर्जी पूछी है, तो इसलिए एनर्जी तो जो है कैलकुलेट करनी पड़ेगी, तो कैसे भी आपको Rydberg कांस्टेंट से HC से मल्टीप्लाई करना पड़ता है, राइट, ओके। नाउ लेट्स ट्राई टू सी दिस क्वेश्चन। हाउ मच एनर्जी इज रिक्वायर्ड टू आयनाइज ए एटम, राइट? So what he is asking, how much energy is needed to ionize an hydrogen atom if electron occupies n is equal to 5 orbit, Okay, so n is equal to 5 orbit. Okay, compare your answer with the ionization enthalpy of hydrogen atom, energy required to remove the electron from n is equal to 1 orbit, right? Then we have to compare with that one. So you see that he is talking about the ionization where the electron is in fifth orbit, right? So from fifth orbit we have to take the electron to infinity. Okay, so this is initial and this is final, right? Okay, so what will be the energy required? Energy required will be, you can say, minus, again this is 2.18, we'll take it as you can say value because that is a scalar. So 2.18 into 10 to power minus 18 joules, right? So that's what it is. And since there is no only hydrogen atom, so z is equal to 1, right? So otherwise z square by n square comes into picture. So this what it is. So initial energy, initial orbit is, you can say, 5 square minus 1 upon infinity square, right? So this will be the ionization energy because we are taking an electron from the fifth orbit to infinity, right? Okay, so 5 to infinity.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so this is the ionization energy. From fifth to infinity, right? Okay, so you can say E 5 to infinity. So what is this value? It is going to be, it is nothing but 2.18 into 10 to power minus 18. Okay, and this is going to be now 1 by infinity square, this value will become 0, right? So this will be 25, right? So that what it is, right? So what is this value? It is going to be, let's see, so 2.18 divided by 25. Okay, so this value is going to be 0.0872, right? 0.0872. Okay, into 10 to power minus 18 joules, right? So you can say 8.72 into 10 to power minus 20 joules, right? That much energy will be needed here. Is that okay? Okay,
Yes.
now he is asking something else, right? Compare your answer with the ionization enthalpy of hydrogen atom, energy required. So he is talking about ionization enthalpy where the energy required to remove the electron from n is equal to 1 orbit, right? So basically now he is talking about transition from 1 to infinity, right? So what will be the energy required for this? So energy required for 1 to infinity, this is going to be 2.18 into 10 to power minus 18. This is now 1 upon 1 square minus 1 upon infinity square, right? So this will be nothing but 2.18 into 10 to power minus 18 joules, right? That what it is going to be. Yes.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so now if we have to compare, see, basically E 5 to infinity upon E 1 to infinity. So you see that this is nothing but E naught, or you can say energy in the first orbit, right? So I will say E1 upon n square it is, right? So 5 square, and this is nothing but E1, right? So you can say that the energy required is going to be how much? It is going to be 1 by 25, right? So that what is the factor which we are going to get, because 2.18 is common over here if you see, right? 2.18 into 10 to power minus 18, right? Yes, is that okay?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so now let's see. So here the energy ratio, right? E5 to E1, if I just simply want to say, that is going to be 1 by 25, or what I can say is that ionization energy is in the first orbit, it is going to be 25 times the energy required to remove the electron from the fifth orbit, right? So that what it is. Okay, is that okay?
Yes.
Okay, so that is the comparison, right? It is 25 times more energy required from the first orbit to remove an electron. Okay, what is the maximum number of emission lines when the excited electron of a hydrogen atom in n is equal to 6 drops to the ground state, right? So if it is dropping to the ground state, okay, so what is the maximum number of lines emitted? Okay, so let's try to answer this particular question. So you see that if suppose, okay, if suppose the here it is given that this is n is equal to 6, right? and then there will be energy levels, right? So let me call this energy level as n is equal to 5, and then there is n is equal to 4, and then n is equal to 3, and then n is equal to 2, and then n is equal to 1, right? There cannot be n is equal to 0 after that, right? Because the electron cannot enter into the nucleus. Okay, now let's see. So if the electron is here, it can jump from 6 to, you can say, any of these orbit, right? So 6 to 5 it can come, right? It can come 6 to 2, right? Can I say this? It can come 6 to 2, right? And it can come 6 to 3, right? It can come 6 to 4 and 6 to 5, right? So these transitions are how many? So these transitions are going to be, you can say, these are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? So there are 5 transitions for this, right? Yes. Yes, there are 5 transitions.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now you can see one thing, right? If the electron is here, so from 2 to 1 also it can come, right? So for that the possibility is, you can say 1, or better is we'll take at higher energy level. Now if this electron, it is at n is equal to 5, if suppose it has come here, now from 5 he can go to, let me use a different color for this. Okay, from here the electron can come here, okay, or it can go here, or it can go here, or it can go here, right? So with this transition, you can say there are 4 transitions possible, right? Right? If the electron has come to 5, now further it can lose energy, right? It can come to the 4th orbit and 3rd and 2 and 1, right? Like that. Yes, is that okay?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now if it is in the 4th orbit, now suppose this electron has come over here, right? So now this electron can move from n is equal to 1, 2 and 3, right? So with this, how many transitions are possible? With this we have 3 transitions possible, right? Now if this electron which has come over here, this electron which has come over here, now for this it can go here or it can go here, right? So with this 2 transitions are possible, right? Now if suppose this electron now has come over here, then with this only, I think, 1 transition that is possible, and that is, we can say, let me use this, that is 1, right? So that is equal to 1 transition possible here, right? So what is the total number of transitions possible? So if I see, the total transitions possible are 5 plus 4 plus 3 plus 2 plus 1, right? So how much is this? This is 6 plus 9, right? That is, you can say, 15 transitions, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so the answer will be 15, right? So there are 15 transitions possible over here. Is that okay? Now let's see, the, you can say, 16th question. The energy associated with the first orbit in hydrogen atom is minus 2.18. Okay, so it is already given, minus 2.18 into 10 to the power minus 18 joules per atom, right? So okay, so that work has been done for us. What is the energy associated with the fifth orbit? Okay, so with the fifth orbit we know that energy is given by, you can say, energy in the nth orbit, it is given by E1 upon n square, right? Okay, upon multiplied with z square. So it is hydrogen atom, for z is equal to 1, there it is, and n is equal to 5, right? So you can say energy with the fifth orbit, it is going to be E1 by 25, right? That what it is. So that is going to be minus 2.18 into 10 to the power minus 18 divided by 25. Okay, so what has to be this value? I think we have already calculated this value over here, right here. So this value was 8.72 into 10 to power minus 20 joules, right? So it is the same answer. Okay, so 8.72, right? So this answer is, you can say 8.72 into 10 to power minus 20 joules, right? Per atom it is. Okay, so that is answer. Okay, so that will be the energy associated with the electron in the fifth orbit, right? Yes, is that okay?
Yes, sir.
Okay, calculate the radius of Bohr fifth orbit for hydrogen atom, right? So if I have to calculate the radius, what is the relationship which we have? Rn. Okay, Rn, you can say radius in the nth orbit. It is going to be, you can say, that is 0.53 angstrom, 529 hota hai, into, you can say n square, right? N square, right? It depends upon that. Okay, angstrom, right? That is the radius. We know this, right? This is the relationship. So what is Rn? You can say 0.529 into fifth orbit, right? Into multiplied with 25 angstrom, right? So this is going to be the radius. So let's see this. So it is 0.529 multiplied with 25, right? So it is 13.225. So this value is going to be, you can say 13.225. So it is 13.225 angstrom. Is that okay?
Yes, sir.
Okay, let's see. Now the next question. Okay, now let's talk about this. Calculate the wave number for the longest wavelength transition in the Balmer series of atomic hydrogen, right? Okay, so Balmer series, right? So he's talking about now about Balmer series, right? Let's try to see. Now Balmer series is the transition from, you can say, nth orbit to second orbit, right? Yes, is that it is that, right? That is the transition. Yes or no?
Yeah.
Okay, so he's asking about the wave number. Okay, so he's directly asking about the wave number, so I can use 1 by lambda, right? So that is the wave number. That is nothing but Rydberg constant multiplied with, you can say, this is going to be, you can this is 1 by 2 square minus 1 upon, I don't know the second value, right? And square, right? It is, let me call this as this. Okay, I don't know about the second value. To calculate the wave number for the longest wavelength, so longest wavelength, for longest wavelength we have, see, this particular expression is associated with the energy, right? And energy is inversely proportional to the wavelength, right? So you can say that if I have to, so this means that this difference has to be, you can say, as minimum as possible, right? Okay, so because then the you can say lambda, or you can say calculate the wave number of longest wavelength. Yeah, so for longest wavelength, that has to be, E has to be as small as possible, right? So longest wavelength. So for wavelength, if I have to see, so lambda is inversely proportional to the energy, right? So you see that the energy has to be least. This has to be least, for this has to be maximum, right? Or longest, right? It has to be something like this. Now for this, so the upper term, Rydberg constant, is associated with the energy term, right? So we have to judge from here what has to be the energy levels. So n has to be a large value or n has to be a small value. To make energy least, we have to keep n as small as possible, right? Yes. So we'll take the n value, the transition to be n is equal to 3 here. Okay, got it? Why we have taken n is equal to 3, not the highest value?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so the wave number, now we can calculate it. It is going to be now Rydberg constant, that is, you can say 109678 something. Okay, that is this is centimeter inverse, right? Into 10 to power minus 2 meter, right? This is, you can say, 1 by 4 minus 1 upon n square, right? Okay, so that is 1 by 3 square, that is 9. So what is this value? You can say this is 2 to 4 and this is meter, no? So okay, 109,678 into 10 to power minus 2, and this is 1 by 4 minus 1 by 9. So this will be by 36. So let's try to do this calculation. So this calculation will be like 36, 9 minus 5 by 36 into 109,678 into 10 to power minus 2. So how much is this value? Yes, so let me use my calculator for this so that we save some time. 109,678 multiplied with 5, that what it is, divided by 36. Okay, so it is 15,223, right? Okay, so this value will come out to be, you can say 15,15233.06 it is, into 10 to the power minus 2 meter inverse. Okay, or you can say it is 1.5233 into 10 to the power 4 into, you can say that as 10 square, right? This is 4, 10 square, yeah, meter inverse, right? That what it is. Yes, is that okay? Yes, Anshu, is that okay? Is that correct? Okay, then let's try to do the next question. So we'll move with the question number 18. Let's see this. Okay, what is the energy in joules? Right now he is asking energy in joules required to shift the electron of the hydrogen atom from the first Bohr orbit to the fifth Bohr orbit. Okay, so from required to shift an electron from the first Bohr orbit to fifth Bohr orbit, and what is the wavelength of light emitted when the electron returns to the ground state? Okay, the ground state electron energy is this, is it is given in, you can say Hertz, that is in centimeter. Hertz is the unit in centimeter, meter, you can say centimeter and seconds, say gram, centimeter and seconds, right? So in that it is Hertz. So better is that we know the result that in joules how much it is. So E1 it is minus 2.18, right, into 10 to the power minus 18 joules per second, right? So joules per atom. Okay, so we'll use better this result. Okay, so what is the energy in joules required to shift? So anyhow he is asking energy in joules, right? So better is that we use that particular expression, or you can convert this as just it is given, no? So the dimension has to be like in these are in centimeter and gram and seconds, so you can convert them into kg and meter. Okay, so for the shift of the electron of the hydrogen atom from first Bohr orbit to the fifth Bohr orbit, so from first to fifth, so there will be an, you can say, absorption of energy, right? So you can say E1 to 5, right? So that is nothing, it is going to be minus 2.18 into 10 to the power minus 18, right? So it is, you can say, final is 1 by 5 square minus 1 upon 1 square, right? Okay, so you can say from first to, right? So this is initial energy, so it will become positive. Okay, we have to give energy here. The positive sense I mean is that here you have to provide that energy. Okay, so in that way, so this value will be what? So it is 1 by 25 minus 1, so 24 by 25, right? So 24 by 25 into 2.18 into 10 to the power minus 18 joules per atom, right? That will be the energy. So what is this value? Yes, let's try to calculate it. 2.18 into 24, that what is divided by 25. Okay, so this value will be 2.093, right, into 10 to the power minus 18 joules per atom. Okay, so that what it is. Now electron of hydrogen atom from the first Bohr orbit to fifth Bohr orbit, and what is the wavelength of the light emitted when the electron returns to the ground state? Okay, now when it is returning to the ground state, so you see that the same amount of energy is going to be emitted here. You can say initial state, you can say it is going to be, it will become the same amount of energy will be released, right? Okay, so for that you can say the wavelength, So 1 by lambda, or you can say, I can directly say as the lambda, right? So lambda is, you can say, this is hc by e. Okay, so this value it is, so you can say this is 6.63 into 10 to power minus 34 multiplied with 3 into 10 to power 8, that what it is, divided by you can say 2.093 into 10 to power minus 18, right? So what will be the wavelength? Yes, can you calculate for me and tell me? Yes, what is the wavelength?
So it is coming approximately 9.5 into 10 to the power minus 8.
Okay, so let's see this 6.63. So basically it should belong to now in UV range, right? So that is Lyman series, right? We know that. So it should belong to that. Okay, so that divided by, you can say, 2.093. So this is 9.5, yeah. So this is 9.5 multiplied with, now what are the 10 to power, it is going to be 16, now 26. So 26 it is minus 7, right? Yeah, 26 minus 8, right? That what it is. Yes, is that okay? That is in meter, right? Okay, so you can say this as 950 10 to power minus 10. It is in angstrom, right? It is beyond the visual range. Okay, smaller than the visual range, right? 10 to power minus 10 it will come. 950 angstrom it will be. Okay, yes, that is the wavelength.
Yes.
So this is way smaller than the visible range, right? Okay, all right, now let's try to uh, do the next question. The electron energy in hydrogen atom is given by this, right? Calculate the energy required to remove an electron completely from n is equal to 2 orbit. Now from the second orbit we have to remove an electron. What is the longest wavelength of the light in centimeter that can be used to cause this transition? Okay, so what could be, you can say, the longest wavelength that could be uh, cause for this transition, right? Completely to remove, so we are removing an electron from 2 to infinity, right? Okay, from the second orbit. So this is basically in the, it lies in the Balmer series. So what we can say is the energy required, so delta E required, so that is going to be, you can say, that is minus 2.18 into 10 to power minus 18, that is in joules, and 1 upon n square. So 1 by 2 square, that is initial state, minus 1 upon infinity square, right? So that will be, you can say, minus, it is 1 by 4 now, right? So 0.54 and it is 5, right? Okay, yeah, into 10 to power minus 18 joules. That much energy is needed, right, to completely remove an electron from, you can say, or you can say 54 point, you can say 54.5 into 10 to power minus 20 joules, right? So approximately that much energy is needed, okay, to completely remove an electron. Calculate the energy required to remove an electron, that is been answered. What is the longest wavelength of light in centimeter that can be used to cause this transition? Okay, so to cause this transition, what has to be the longest wavelength that we can be using? That is nothing but it is hc by lambda, right? So that is going to be, you can say, 54.5 into 10 to power minus 20 joules, responsible for that much energy. So lambda will be what? It is 6.63 into 10 to power minus 34, okay, multiplied with 3 into 10 to power 8, divided by 54.5 into 10 to power minus 20, okay, in meter, right? So that will be the answer. Yes, is that okay?
Yes.
Okay, so what will be this answer? So let's see this. So this is going to be, you can say, 6.63 multiplied with 3, that is 19.89, divided by 54.5, right? Okay, that is 0.36, right? Okay, so 0.365 into 10 to power, it is how much? Minus 20, it is 28. So 28, it is minus 6 meter, or you can say lambda is equal to, you can say, 365 nanometer, right? So that is quite near the visible range, right? Yes.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so that what it is. Okay, so let's try to go with the next question. Let's try to do the next question. Okay, so here is the next question we have. Calculate the wavelength of an electron moving with velocity of this much. So velocity of the electron is how much? This is 2.05 into 10 to power 7 meter per second, right? Okay, so we have to calculate the wavelength. Okay, so we know that the mass of the electron. So what is the mass? That is 9.1 into 10 to power minus 31 kg, right? So that what it is. Okay, so then the wavelength is at then we will use that de Broglie equation, right? De Broglie equation. So lambda is equal to h by mv. Okay, so this will become 6.63 into 10 to power minus 34, okay, divided by mass of the electron, that is 9.1 into 10 to power minus 31 into 2.05 into 10 to power 7, right? That what it is. Okay, so the de Broglie wavelength is going to be how much? Yes, so what has to be this answer? So this has to be, you can say 6333, so that has to be around 7 by 2, 3.5 it has to be around. Okay, let's try to calculate it. 6.63 divided by 9.1, that is 0.72 divided by 2.05. Okay, so this is 3 point, okay, yeah, it is 3.5, it is coming 0.355, right? Into 10 to power it is minus 31, and this is, so it will become 10 to power minus 3, and 7 10 to power minus 10 it will become. Okay, so it is 0.355 angstrom, right? So that is the wavelength of the electron which is associated with it when this electron is moving with velocity of 2.05 into 10 to power 7 meter per second. Is that okay?
Yes, sir.
All right, now let's see the next one. Okay, the mass of an electron is given, right? If kinetic energy is this much, calculate the wavelength, right? So it is just a modification of de Broglie, you can say, equation. So what we have to do? So we know that if p is the momentum, if this is momentum, okay, so that is the product of mass and the velocity, and we know that kinetic energy is nothing but p square by 2m, right? That is the relationship which we have. So I can say p is equal to 2m kinetic energy square root of that, right? So that is the momentum, right? So if I see this, if that is the momentum, then, and that is the kinetic energy, so wavelength, so lambda is equal to h by p, right? That what we know from de Broglie equation, right? So you can say this is 6.63 into 10 to power minus
Yes, sir.
34 divided by, now this is 2 times mass of the electron 10 to power minus 31 multiplied with kinetic energy, this is 3 into 10 to power minus 25 joules, right? So what is the wavelength? Yes, can you calculate this for me and tell me what will be the wavelength of this particular, you can say, electron? Yes, what is going to be the wavelength?
Yes, I'm doing it.
Yeah. Okay, so I think this answer will be 0.897 into 10 to power minus 34, and here it is going to be minus 31.25, right? So it is minus 56, so it is minus 28 plus 28, right? So minus 6 it will become, you can say, 897 nanometer. Yes, just one check this one.
Yes, sir.
It is going to be 897 nanometer, right? Okay. Now let's look at this particular question. Okay, which of the following are isoelectronic species, right? So let's try to see which of the following are isoelectronic species. That is, those have the same number of electrons, right? So if I see that, so sodium, right? Sodium, what is the atomic number of the sodium we have? Atomic number of sodium is 11, right? Yes, yes or
Yes,
no?
sir.
So this means that it will have how many protons? 11, and electrons 11. And now if he is talking about Na plus, right? So Na plus will have the number of electron 1 less, right? 10. Okay, so it will have 10 electrons. Okay, now next is potassium, right? For potassium, what is the atomic number? I think it is 19, right? Okay, so it will have number of protons as 19 and electron as 19, right? So K plus will have the electrons as 18, right? Yes, is that okay? Yes, Anshu, is that okay?
Yes.
Okay, now magnesium, right? So magnesium atomic number is 12. Okay, so here it will have number of
Yes, sir.
protons as 12 and electron as 12. Now Mg plus 2. Mg plus 2, it will have number of electron as 10, right? Okay, so 10 electrons. So now we see that these two are isoelectronic, right? Sodium and magnesium. So these two are isoelectronic. Okay, so I can say them they are isoelectronic, right? Okay, now next is, you can say, calcium, right? So let's try to see now calcium has got atomic number of 20. Is that I'm
Yes, sir.
okay? So this will have protons as 20 and electrons as 20, right? Now Ca plus 2, right? So Ca plus 2, it will have electrons of 18. Okay, now we see that potassium and calcium, they are, you can say, isoelectronic, right? Okay, so let's, okay, we have other element also. Let's now talk about sulfur, right? Because sulfur is also there, we have to see that. Now sulfur has got an atomic number of 16, right? So it will have, you can say,
Yes.
protons as 16 and electrons as 16, right? Now what he is talking about is S2 minus, he is talking about. So what I can say is S2 minus. So it will have electron of 16 plus 2. Sorry, yeah, plus 2. Minus 2 is talking about. So let's, okay. So the number of electrons are 18. Electrons are 18 here, right? Okay. So S minus 2. The electrons are 18. Okay. So which is same as this one. Now what is the next? Next is argon we have got, right? Okay. So we have got argon here. Argon has got an atomic number of 18, right? So it has got that many proton and that many electrons. Yes, is that okay?
Yes,
Okay.
sir.
So argon has got 18, right? Okay. So we see that all these species are isoelectronic. This group is isoelectronic. Okay. These are isoelectronic. Okay. Is that clear?
Yes,
Okay.
sir.
Isoelectronic means the same number of electrons they have, right? Okay. So now let's try to look the next one, which is 23rd. Let's try to see this one. What is there? Write the electronic configuration of the following ions, right? H minus. Okay, so H minus. H minus, this means it will have 2 electrons, right? Okay, so electronic configuration is going to be what? So you see that it will have 2 electrons. Okay, so we know that if it is 1s orbit, so one electron is already there and he got an additional electron, right? So additional electron is over here. So the electronic configuration will be 1s2. Okay, so that's what it is. Then we have got Na plus, right? For Na plus we have 10 electrons here. Okay, in 10 electrons if we have to write, then I will write as 1s2, 2s2, 2p, it has to be 6, yeah, 2p6 it has to be, right? It is a stable configuration, right? So this is for 8, you can say 10 it is, right? So 10 it is going to be neon, right? Second, so this is the electronic configuration as the same as that of neon, stable configuration, right? Yes, this is for helium, right? Yes, is that okay? Then O2 minus, right? So this will have 10 electrons again, right? Yes. So again, the electronic configuration will become 1s2, 2s2, 2p6, right? Is that okay?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So this is oxygen. Okay, oxygen 2 minus, same as neon configuration, same neon. Okay. Now next is asking about fluorine minus. Okay, fluorine minus is again you can say it is going to be it is 9, so it will have 10 electrons. Okay, because the atomic number of fluorine is 9, so it will gain an electron, so 10 electron, right? So this is 1s2, 2s2, 2p6 again. Okay, so that what it is. So this is regarding the first part. Okay, then there are second part. What are the atomic numbers of elements whose outermost electrons are represented by 3s1? Okay, so outermost electron is 3s1. So what has to be this element? So this has to be sodium, I think. Yes, yes or no? This has to be sodium, right? Because
Yes,
1s2,
sir.
2s2, 2p6 will go, right? So 10, 11. So you can say for the second part, we will have 3s1. This is corresponding to sodium, Na. Okay, and 2p3. So 2p3, if I have to write, so 2p3 is going to be, so 2p3 correspond to, this means 3 here. So total number of here it will become 3 and 4, 7. So 7 is it is for nitrogen, right? Right. So this is going to correspond to nitrogen. Is that okay?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now we have 3p5. Okay. So 3p5 and now third is 3p5. Now 3p5 if I have to reach, then basically I have to complete the s orbital, 1s2, 2s2, 2p6, 3s2, and then there has to be 3p5. So if I see this are this is 10 and 2 17. 17 is related with chlorine, right? This is with chlorine, right? Yes.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So that what it is. Now third bit, which atoms are indicated by the following configuration? So helium 2s1, right? So helium 2s1. So which is this element? So there, that is lithium, right? Okay, yeah. So that is going to be lithium. Now third bit, helium 2s1, right? So that is lithium, right? Now we have neon 3s2, 3p3. Okay, neon there is there. Okay, neon, then 3s2, 3p3. So it is the same group of nitrogen, right? So nitrogen same group, right? So what has to be this? This has to be phosphorus, I think. Yes. Yes. Yes or no? Yes or no? Yes, Anshu.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so it is phosphorus. Okay. Now next is argon 4s2 3d1, right? So argon, that is the transition metal. Okay, so argon, so let's look at the argon 4s2 3d1, right? So 4s2, so it is the first transition metal, right? So what has to be this one? So what is the first transition metal? I think that is scandium, right? Yes,
Yes, sir.
this is scandium. Okay, and that is 21 it has got, and Sc is the, you can say, electronic configuration, right? Okay, so 21 if I have to write, yeah, so till here it will become 3p6, it will be 18, 18 plus 3, yeah, that what it is. Yes, confirmed, right? Yes, is that okay? Now let's see.
Yes, sir.
Okay, what is the lowest value of n that allows g orbital to exist, right? So what has to be, yes, any guess you want to take on that? What is the lowest value of n that allows g orbital? Okay, so g orbital he is talking about. So g orbital is, what is this? G is azimuthal quantum number, that is L, right? Azimuthal quantum number, right? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so L value is n minus 1, that has to be G, right? So what is the value of L, G? Let's see, S, P, D, F, G, right? It is this. This is 0, this is 1, this is 2, this is 3, this is 4, right? So that is 4. So n is equal to 4 plus 1. So n will be 5. Okay. So the value allowed is the lowest value allowed, right? The lowest value allowed is n is equal to 5, right? That what it is. Is that okay?
Yes, sir.
All right. So let's see now then our last question, and then we'll try to wind up. Okay. So that is question number 25. So what does it says is, it says that an electron is in one of the 3D orbits. Okay. Okay, orbitals. Okay, give the possible values of n, L and ml for this electron, right? So in 3D orbital, right, is one of the 3D orbital. So d orbital, so L value is going to be how much for this? We have seen, right? S is 0, P is 1, D is 2, right? So L value for this is going to be 2 and n value will be 3, right? Okay, then you can say ml value. Ml values are going to be what? It is from plus L to minus L, right? So minus 2, minus 1, 0, 1 and 2, right? So there are 5 orbitals, right? Okay, and then, okay, so he is asking that with corresponding to each there will be 2 spins, right? There will be 2 spin quantum numbers. So these are the possible values of n, L, m, right? Okay, for 3D orbital. Yes, is
Yes,
that
sir.
okay?